Zach and Irene, I'll leave the floor to you. I do have the video queued up if you would like to play it next.
Sure, why don't you play that? We can play the BeaconFlex video just to talk about what BeaconFlex is. It's only a 2-minute video, and then we can come back and discuss a little bit.
Okay, great.
The biggest benefit for teaching in BeaconFlex modality is really my ability to meet the student where they're at. I know that every person comes in the room with different learning needs, different learning capabilities, different life challenges, real world things going on, and BeaconFlex allows them to be dedicated to their education and attend class when all of life's obstacles jumps out in front of them.
If they can't make an 8 o'clock class for whatever reason, they have the option of staying wherever they are and dialing into class.
That flexibility allowed students to think about where will I learn best and how can I learn best. And some students really like to be at home and engage discreetly through the chat room, and others wanted to be on campus, engage in the campus community, but at the same time ask questions and meet the faculty in person.
What type of pleural effusion is this? What term would be given? People on Zoom, what do you think?
The transition from the in-person to BeaconFlex is seamless.
Inflammation and
the students don't have to be on campus, but they can still fully participate in the class. And to me, that's a very big positive. I haven't had what I would call any major issues with BeaconFlex that I wouldn't typically have if everyone was in class here.
You don't have to redesign your whole course for BeaconFlex.
It is something that you will have support for, and you can work with experts in terms of how to think pedagogically about your course, how to handle the technology, but you can also learn from other faculty who have for a couple of semesters now used BeaconFlex.
Everyone, even on Zoom, which one?
You have nothing to lose by trying it.
My pedagogical goal is to meet the student where they're at, and BeaconFlex really, really allows me to do that.
So let me just ask those on the call, how familiar are you with BeaconFlex, and is this something that you have experimented with or tried? If you would raise your hand and make comments, or feel free to add your feedback in the chat. We'd like to get an idea of where you are with it and what you would like for us to cover, or the level of interest. So is it fair to say that everyone is brand new at it, or that you are looking for other insights? So let me give you some background information about why we're talking about this today and why it's kind of first in our slide deck. The first thing is Zach, if you don't mind. Good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first thing we wanted to share is that post-COVID, things shifted in the world of education, and there became a raised expectation from students to have choice and a preference to being able to have that flexibility to participate in the classroom or remotely. That has been heard both here at the UMass campus and also globally around the world. EDUCAUSE reports this in universities, and the universities are responding. There is a realization that the online world is just as important as the physical campus, and there's a desire to invest in this level of learning. From a university perspective, purely from a competitive perspective, is a recognition that that is something that universities need to invest in to remain competitive for student registrations, but also just the understanding of it's something that the university needs to invest in for preparation. So the University of Massachusetts in Boston does have a grant to support upgrading some of the classes. This is a joint effort. We have University of Amherst is really looking at all the classes going completely full-blown hybrid with active learning across their entire campus. Ours is not quite that extensive, but the point here is there's a focus here. It's coming. It's recognized that this is important, and the university is taking steps to move in this direction. And I say that to say, if you're a student, then recognize that it would be helpful for you to be proficient in either arena if this is something that you desire to participate in and are able to. If there is a science to learning online, as everyone now knows, and as well as in the classroom and having that flexibility and being able to adapt and adjust to those changes. From a faculty perspective, it may influence how the options you have for your classes. How do you want to conduct an active learning session, and how do you want to provide options for students maybe to work around issues? I've heard from University Amherst, they've addressed faculty being even remote for a period of time and still being able to conduct the classes. They have a vet school and at Camp Ida, so it's a different campus. And of course, if a student is not able to attend, that gives them the flexibility there. And so it's very important for that continuity of education to be able to have these options. So this is why we wanted to present this today, to kind of give you some idea of why we're talking about this and why it's so important, and why you might want to consider, if you're faculty, how you might want to adjust your classes or to accommodate or to think about how you might want to integrate that into your classes. So Zach, can you kind of share with us some tips that you have from your experience with the program?
Yeah. So everything is different with BeaconFlex. Every course is different. So what's a chemistry course, a biology course, everything tends to be different about what goes on with BeaconFlex. And there isn't a one size fits all solution for everything. So in generalization, BeaconFlex is designed as a way for you to teach class in person and remotely at the same time. The expectations placed on the students is the same. So it's considered a face-to-face class. So there is no online component to it. So the way that it goes is that students will attend via Zoom or in the classroom. They don't register for that way. It's totally flexible by design, that any day they want, they can attend in person or on Zoom. There are some caveats to that, of course, regarding some exams and cameras and things like that. But in general, any exam dates, or you have to have those posted in Wiser course notes and your syllabus, and all your students need to know prior to add drop that these are the days that they're expected to be in class. We have the system designed in a couple ways. So we have a couple built out classrooms where you come to the classroom, and the camera, which is typically the Echo 360 camera, and the microphone, again, go to the computer in the room. And when you sign into Zoom, those are the camera and the microphone for Zoom. So you just don't have to worry about setting up a webcam or anything like that. Other rooms, we use portable kits, which are the OWL cameras, which is a 360 camera that shows the entire room. That we designed and we put together. We came out with some great ideas for how it worked, and we've been running it for the last 2 years successfully. This summer, we're putting additional classrooms in place where there'll be more rooms that are turnkey. Walk in, turn on Zoom, and go. For instructors that teach face-to-face, you may have noticed that every single one of our classrooms that has a computer in it now also has a resident webcam. That was in response to the COVID over the last few years, and now we're just expanding on that even further. BeaconFlex is really, and you heard it in the video, is designed to be meet the students where they are. That's the tagline for BeaconFlex, is meet the students where they are, because we know that many students, and especially UMass Boston students, have all sorts of things going on in their lives, and to give them that flexibility to attend class remotely really helps make them successful. At the end of the day, it's always about student success and finding ways to help those students succeed. We have a grant, as Felicia mentioned earlier, that was called the AGI grant. And one of the things that it provides this year is BeaconFlex digital assistants. We have a number of those students that are working for us currently, And the BeaconFlex digital assistants are to help classes that are first-time BeaconFlex users get comfortable in the classroom. So these are students that'll sit there in this, these are graduate students that'll sit in the classroom with you, handle all the technology, make sure you're comfortable, help you with anything it goes. And then they work with myself and Irene and our faculty lead, which is Suha Balu, on going and, you know, meeting and how can we help the faculty engage these students more. So it's actually, you know, there's like a collaborative effort across a number of different departments to do this. And it's a really, I think it's a great thing personally. And, you know, that's why I'm proud to be part of that, part of the group that keeps it going.
Yeah. I can add to that. So just a recent example, one of the faculty member we are currently support, he's brand new to this modality. So in essence, again, so he teaches Econ 101 and 102, microeconomics and macroeconomics on campus. So his class, his section was very under-enrolled. And the course, again, the department suggested to move the course and try BeaconFlex modality. And it really helped the very last moment, you know, with enrollments in his class. So far, it's been successful. Of course, there are challenges, and we can talk about that later. But again, that's instructor. And like the good thing, again, that the courses only has, you know, like 9 students at the moment. So like we can like test what works, what's not. And if everything goes fine, again, this instructor, you know, like we'll try it in the fall. Again, the subject is economics. So as Zach said, it's not one size fits all. And I think again, if you'd like to try or learn more about your particular challenges or pinpoints and what concerns you, we work with each individual instructor. Again, like highly, like, again, it's basically you have like concierge, you know, like support that we like support you in any step in the process in the fall. And right now, it's a dedicated support. For example, this particular instructor, I just met with him yesterday on campus. He said that he'd like to have, you know, someone online because like he can, you know, like to facilitate chat and other activities. So we can provide that. So again, I think talking to us and looking and maybe trying it out and have the best possible support, we invite you, you know, to talk about that and discuss and maybe, you know, try it now, which is a good thing when their classes are less crowded, you know, this summer or maybe in the fall. Thank you.
Thank you, Irene. And thank you, Mario, for your question. Are there any other questions or comments on BeaconFlex? Okay. So I'm just going to share my screen again. Sure. So did want to also share with you, as you see on the right-hand side, we do have a page dedicated to BeaconFlex that helps provide information on the teaching model, provides preparation information, and finally did want to share with you Zach's information. And also I didn't put in here Irene. Both resources as well as others are available to help you with this. As Irene mentioned, giving you individualized help and support and attention. So definitely feel free to reach out if you have any questions.